Hello, everybody. So glad we could be together today. And I'm so sorry we're late. But I guess it's good. Kathy's
Yeah.
with me, of course, today. I guess it's good because I got a phone call right when I was getting ready to shut my phone off
Yeah.
for this Facebook time from a radio station in Neosho, Missouri.
Wow.
And I don't remember the name of it. Her name was Rachel, I think, or something like that. And I'm in this chair ready to go with Facebook, and she calls, and I didn't take it because I thought I don't have but before I turned my phone off, she called back. So we did about 20 minutes or so on the
Nice.
book Mighty Like Gideon, and I think she actually read the book because she was naming stuff in your book she knew, and a lot of times the interviewers they just read the cover or something.
Right.
They need the notes, the little clip notes or something because they don't have time to read. You had a great interview, and I just talked about the book and how inspiring it is to have the life of Gideon kind of piece by piece as his walk, from the wine press and then the angel, and then he had to
Yeah.
be mighty, and then he had to go tear down his father's altar. Then they wanted to kill him, and I walked until finally he's Gideon's got to defeat the enemy with jars and torches and shouts and trumpets,
Hey.
and they get 40 years apiece. So I kind of walked through that with it, and
Nice.
I wanted to talk about Smithton a little bit because I don't know where Smithton is, and I told her before the interview started, and then I was trying to save up enough to tell a little bit about the outpouring, but it didn't matter. It's all about the book. Then they asked me how to get it, and I blanked for a second, so I just gave them stevegrayministries.com or go to Amazon or Target and pre-order. But JD and I, of course, JD and I wrote the book together. We wanted them to buy it from us. We want to sell our books that
Yeah.
we own. So but I didn't know how to do that. Well, if they go to stevegrayministries.com, they can get it, and it'll be out of my pot, my stash.
Into your stash.
Yes. So
Not
anyway,
out of it. You're not going to pay them to read your book, are you?
no, I would, but I'll pay people to come to church. I've done that before. I've given people. I said, I'll give you $100 if you'll come to church. Now I haven't done that in a long time
No.
because, but that was probably back in Smithton when we were trying to grow a church, and they'd say, they didn't even say they were looking for a church. They just didn't go to church. And I said, well, we'll get you to go to church. And they didn't seem to come up with anything. So I did. I came up with, how about $100? I'll give you $100 if you show up. Do you know what though? I offered to somebody that came and they had no money and they said, "Oh, you can't buy groceries. I can't feed my children." Sad story,
Right.
And so I said, "I'll tell you what." It was towards the weekend. I said, "You come to church in the morning, and I'll give you $100 or I'll give you some money." They never showed up.
Never showed up. Yeah.
So they went to.
Yeah.
They had to go find the church that had
Yeah,
they would give it to him for nothing. So
Yeah.
anyway, but anyway, I want to talk to you today about we have an anniversary coming up. Hard to believe, not that we have an anniversary, but we have an anniversary coming up of 50 years, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember when your parents had their 50th
I know.
anniversary and 60th.
Yeah.
I remember theirs. I thought they'd been married so long. How do you do that? And now it's crept up on us. 50 years
Amazing.
shall I
Of
say?
bliss.
Yeah.
50 years of bliss with a capital B.
Okay. I don't want to go past that. I'm going to say yes to that. But there were a few moments when it wasn't so blissful. How about I say it like that?
All right.
And we had a particular situation that occurred over and over and over way back then, and that was before GPS came out. Global positioning. What is it? Global
Uh,
GPS, and everybody has it now. And system. Okay, and so yesterday, yesterday, no, Monday, we were out and about,
yes.
and I had my phone, you had your phone, and we were going to a place. We didn't know where it was, and we both had the address, and we both put it in our phones.
Yes.
But we could tell the difference because your phone, GPS, your
Yes.
Siri is...
American Voice woman number 4.
I didn't... Well, good for you.
Yeah.
So, well, I have...
She's the most pleasant yet firm, which is what I need.
True. Well, you know what I did, though? Here's what happened to me. I told you this. I had a good laugh about it. I said, well, what happened to me is I went to Siri, but I accidentally called her Alexa. Now she's not talking to me anymore. She stopped speaking to me.
She stopped speaking.
So I went and got an Irish man.
I know he's very obnoxious.
Like, well, I found it just a little more easy to take directions from him. He's a nice Irish guy. So I just picture this Irish guy, dressed in green and and giving me directions.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I put a title on today, and I haven't had a chance to even tell you. You didn't even know what we were going to talk about
No.
today, which is not uncommon. But so I put on there, GPS saved our marriage. Because before GPS, we had to go with those clunky maps, and we had maps, and it was kind of fun though, because when you're a kid and you're traveling on vacation, or whatever, you went into a new state, you could go into a gas station and get it usually free. They were free when we were younger, and get a free map. And once it unfolded though, then nobody could figure out how to fold it back. You sort of had to just clump it together, right? But anyway, so like everybody back then, when we traveled, because we had a traveling ministry, and then we'd go on trips, even that, and you had to have a map. And so I couldn't read the map while I was driving, so I'm the driver, and Kathy is the map reader. That's why we need GPS. Would you like to comment on that?
Yes, I would like to comment on that because
I had that comment look on your face.
I can read maps unless we're driving down a highway 60 miles an hour and the positioning of the car keeps changing, and then I didn't see the right exit because we sped on by it.
Wait a minute, don't embarrass me. Say 70 miles an hour. Don't embarrass me. It's 60.
Well, back before.
That was before.
When I had to read maps, it was whatever year.
Oh, yeah.
It was too many years, I tell you.
Actually, though, the speed limit was back then, some of the time was 55.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm 60.
55, and you were going 60.
Okay.
And then I would beg you, pull over. Please pull over. Please stop driving. Please stop driving. This is giving me a headache, bouncing around, trying to find this location. Plus, our location keeps changing, so I can't find our correct place we're going to. Please pull over. Please pull over. Please pull over. Never. He's squinting at me. Never would he pull over.
Wait a minute. Hold it. You're presenting yourself in a little different light than I remember.
Hey,
you said a lot of pleases, right? Please.
Well, finally.
That's not how it happened.
That was inaccurate.
The longer we went, the more irritated she would get at me for not pulling over. And then, but then we'd go, and you'd say, without saying please, turn here, turn right here, turn right here.
Yeah.
And so I turned right there and we're going, where are we? Why you told me to turn here? And she says, and you'd say, well, I don't know. I didn't know.
Well,
I said, what do you mean?
Know. You made me finally get so paranoid I would just say, blurt out, turn here, turn here.
And I'd say, you'd say, well, I don't know.
It is
I said, well,
I did that.
But I said, if you don't know, then you don't tell me to turn. And I said, and how do you don't know? You got the map.
But I can't read the map because I don't know where we are.
And then there was another thing that I just started doing differently. You're right. I never pull over, keep going, right?
Never.
But now, did you notice I mentioned it to you about 2 weeks ago. I said, did you notice we needed to do something, and I did it? I think GPS my Irish guy even told me to do it.
What's that?
Turn around. Right? Go back. And that's something I just started.
This is a victory.
You and the family, all our kids, all know, say the same thing about me. What?
Yeah, you refuse to turn around when you're lost, and you will continue saying, well, I know. Well, I'll get us there. Don't worry. And you just keep driving the wrong way, and then you find where we're going, and then you say, see. But it took, like 40 minutes longer.
Yes, but how many times have we had to back then, and even sometimes today, finally, even GPS makes mistakes. Sometimes I've had them take us wherever. You remember that time, one of the first times we used GPS was in Pastor J.D. King, of course, his son-in-law, J.D., and we were on a family trip in Chicago. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we hadn't used GPS on our phones much because we were just getting used to using them. But he liked to use his, and he's in the back, and he says, no, I'll get us where we're going. And we're up on this big old high interstate. And he did the same thing. He says, the GPS, it
Oh.
says, turn here, turn here. And I said, I'm not sure. I said, this doesn't look right. And the GPS says, my phone says, turn here, take this exit. That's what it was. Take this exit.
Yes.
So I did. And I took the exit and I go around and I drive. And remember, we went
Yeah.
to the housing that underneath the bridge housing. It was
Yes.
underneath the highway.
Yeah.
And I'm
That was
assuming
terrifying.
I'm assuming the people, they were lower income, and it was hot summer, and they probably didn't have air conditioning. So remember,
Yeah.
hundreds of people
Right.
were out in the street. And when I say out in the street,
Yeah. in
I'm
the
not talking
street.
about in their yards.
No.
They were. You're driving in this through the crowd of people,
Yes.
slowly through the crowd of people, and now
It was
everybody,
terrifying.
and they're coming up to the windows and stuff, and I'm trying to get out of there, and I said, so the kids, we're scared, Grandpa, Dad, we're scared, and I said, act like a gangster, just start,
Oh my word.
and I don't know if it was Brooke or one of the kids. Make them an offer they can't refuse, and so. And so
Yeah.
and also, do you notice all the guys that were down towards our car, walking real tough? They all had a certain kind of shirt on. Do you remember what kind of shirts they all had on? What they?
A wife beater
Yeah.
shirt.
And I thought, why did they call them
A
that?
wife beater. Because men who beat their wives wear those kind of T-shirts.
Well,
Shame on them.
Yeah. Well, I remember that the other day you brought a stack of T-shirts in. You said, here's some wife beater shirts. You remember? I said,
Yeah,
not now. I'm not in the mood.
Yeah. You have some really old wife beater shirts, and I hesitate to throw them away because every time I throw something of yours away, then 5 minutes later you
I'm
come in the
looking for it.
room and you're looking for that thing. So I've learned that. So I have just kept them safely stored in case you need to beat me.
What? Okay, let's not call them wife beater. You know what? We need to change it. They should be called man beater shirts. You know why?
Why?
Because the second I put it on,
Why?
I realized I'm way too fat to wear them. I can't wear them.
I'm not saying a thing.
No, but
I plead the
they're-
fifth on that
so
one.
I don't wear them, and I don't like that title anyway. Let's all change that and come up with a new one. But anyway,
Yes.
so
Okay.
it's true though.
Yeah.
That I'll get the Holy Spirit moving on me when we get lost, and I'll find our
Yes,
way. I do.
And you do.
And you remember the time we were in England, in the UK?
Oh,
we were in Great
I'll
Britain.
never forget that.
And okay, so I don't remember what we were doing because we were there on a ministry trip because I know we had a team with us. But sometimes for some reason, I think they did some stuff, and we broke away for a few days, just the two of us, and got a car, and we're driving. I don't know where we went, what we did. I couldn't remember. And so it's time for us to get back to the airport, the big airport there in London and in Heathrow. And so we're driving and going, and everything's going good. And we make it to the airport, what I think is plenty of time, because we have to drop off the car, and we got to go in, go through all this stuff, and I thought we got plenty of time. So I go, and I realize, oh, wait a minute, that's not the right airline. I got to find the right airline, to go and then drop off the car. And so I remember I started going around and around and around the circle, and at our airports, and most of the U.S. airports, at least here in Kansas City, they have like an escape, like if you're going around and around and around, you can leave, exit, or you can come back and go around again. And I was looking for the round again, right? And you remember we went around and around, and all of a sudden there's no exit. And next thing you know, we're back on the interstate again, and we're going the wrong direction, away from the airport.
Yeah, it was.
And I said, well, there'll be an exit up here somewhere. And we went and we drove, and then we got into traffic, bumper to bumper traffic, and no exit. I said, why don't they have an exit somewhere off of this thing? And we had to keep going and keep going and keep going. Well, you got out a map. We had a map. And you're trying in England to read this map. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you tried, and you said here, and said, I don't think that, and that, and that, and that. And we just got more lost with your map reading, which I'm not blaming you. It was a foreign country.
It was a crazy
even though they speak
roundabout
English.
without an exit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, so we're getting farther and farther and farther away. So finally, remember what I did? We stopped, we pulled over, and prayed. Remember
Yes,
that?
we did.
We prayed. And I said, put the map away. Just put the map away. This isn't working. And we prayed. I said, okay,
Yeah.
we got nothing now. We got no direction. We got no map. We don't know where we are. And besides that, we're driving on the wrong side of the road. So we
Very
prayed.
hard.
And I said, and we're off the interstate. We're over here on this little dumpy road. You remember that? And I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
I don't know what to do, but I just feel like I'm taking this road. And it
Yeah.
was like, it wasn't dirt and it wasn't gravel, but it was not a very good road. It was like an old road or something. And I said, I'm just going to take this road. I don't know where it goes, but I'm just going to do it. I'm not getting back on that interstate. And you remember what happened?
Yeah.
How long did we drive
Then
from
To the-
that road? And at that point, 5 minutes, 10 minutes,
barely, yeah,
10 minutes.
under, 10 or under.
Yeah, under. And so I just drove.
Yeah.
And I'm driving, nothing, just brush and all of a sudden we come out. It was like angels started singing, and I came, remember, to the backside sort of Heathrow Airport,
Yes. Yeah.
and it was only 10 minutes away or 5. We were 5 minutes away, and I had no idea, and we are still stuck. And I pulled in, and now though we got to give our car back.
Yeah.
So one of the guys that was with us he was on another flight, so he
Yeah.
had time. He ran. I remember he ran to me, said, "You got to go," and he said, "I'll take the car." And he took the car, and we got in, plenty of time, made the flight, and that was a time when it set the precedent that if we
Yes.
get lost, and everybody says, "Turn around, hold it."
Okay.
I got it. I think I hear an angel singing.
That one instance proves you
No,
right.
I've done it before though.
Yes, you have done it before. Okay.
But I still. But anyway,
anyway.
the point was, GPS has saved our marriage because
Yes. Right.
I don't and I still have the woman's voice because Kathy usually uses your phone.
Yeah.
To-
So you hear
I hear it on
American
your- and
Voice
you're-
woman number 4.
Yeah, and so it saved our marriage because now I just yell back at her. You know, I just
That's right.
At this, whoever
But
that was.
she's generally 99% correct. So
Yeah.
I just sit there, da, 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 and it has saved our marriage. I don't get that nervous sweat. I don't start doing this or
'cause
pulling my hair.
Siri's
it-
usually right.
Yeah, and so
Or
that
the-
has saved a lot of tension, pointing fingers at each other.
Well, let's just admit it.
What?
We wouldn't be married 50 years if it weren't for GPS. we would have
Well,
split. I would have.
Steve Gray.
We'd be out in the car, and I'd pull into Hertz and rent you a car and let you go, and I'd take the car and go, and I'll see you when we get there. How about that? But we have GPS, so
Thank
that's our
God
GPS
for it.
story.
All right. Thank
Wait,
God
wait,
for it.
wait! I was thinking
No,
about this though.
no more.
Well, GPS is so good. I was thinking, you know what?
Yeah.
I could make a fortune if. Let me think. What yeah, like SYM. Technically, and you get it. Guys get it. SYM, and I was thinking you could get a little thing.
Is that like a disease?
No, it's a little thing, and you put it in your ear,
Oh.
and it speaks. It talks to you. It's actually your phone, but
but
dude,
nobody
but
else
you
can
wouldn't be able to hear it.
wouldn't
I just hear it, and save your marriage like GPS.
Okay.
And so what it does is, I'm thinking what it would take. I need to contact Elon Musk or somebody like that to do this.
give him the idea so he can make a couple more billion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's in your ear, and what
Okay.
it does, it's like a prelude or whatever, prelude.
Prelude.
It listens to our conversation. It's
Oh.
listening to you talk to me, and then by what it hears, it's like chat GTP. It's like AI or whatever. It's like AA. It listens to the conversation, and then it tells me how to respond. Or it has a safety though on it.
Oh my.
It has a safety. It has that if you say a certain thing, it reminds me, and all of a sudden it goes, danger, danger, danger.
I can't believe this, Harley.
Well, you don't have to. It's not invented yet.
Well, thank God.
So, but there is a
So
better
you mean
way.
it'll say to you, sensitive now, sensitive now.
Yeah,
and
well,
then, and then give you the answer to say to me, be sensitive.
yeah. It could even tell you what kind of look you should have on your face too. Like look like this and talk like that.
Look pleasant. Don't look disgusted.
probably-
Don't sound disgusted. Impatient. Don't look impatient.
I wouldn't anyway. But it could give me a warning. So just cool your jets here, Steve, and put a blank look on your face and just say, I'm sorry. That
Yeah,
would work.
There. Yeah,
just-
always say I'm sorry. That's how we've lasted 50 years.
Yeah, just in the-
GPS and I'm sorry.
So I get up in the morning, she's
Oh,
making coffee. I
my.
walk out and say, Kathy, I want you to have a great day, and I just want you to know I'm sorry.
Oh, my. Don't laugh over there, you guys.
But anyway,
Yeah,
let's.
so what is our
I'm going to get serious
what is
about
our
this.
serious subject?
Well, we're not there yet, but I'm
Oh,
going to get
my
us there.
word.
Actually,
Help us, Lord.
with all this going
Yeah.
on, all the GPS and my stupid invention that I'm not really going to do, save your marriage in your earphone, is exactly what God intended. Listen to the Holy Spirit. And that's what I think I did at that airport. I
Yes,
really
you
did.
did.
I mean,
Yes,
that
oh,
was miraculous.
That was miraculous.
We would have missed our
That was
flight,
God.
and we would have had to wait a whole day to get another flight
Yeah,
at least,
that
and
would
we
have been
didn't have that
horrible.
schedule. So that was a miraculous moment, and I really, and obviously it worked, but just everyday life.
Yeah.
You know, what's the 5-second rule, guys? What's the 5-second?
5-second rule.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I thought it was 10 seconds all along.
You mean I've been?
If you drop your food on the floor, I thought 10 seconds and it was still okay to pick it up and eat it.
Well,
You
would
say
be, uh-oh.
5?
Well,
so,
I've been eating 5-second food, but I'm still okay.
yeah, and I'm,
So I want to take I'll take the 5-second rule.
yeah, okay.
Take the 5-second rule and just listen before you speak to the person, but
That's good.
wait 5 seconds before you answer.
Yeah.
And so then you'll be and let the Holy Spirit at least come a little bit on us, you know, and inspire us a little bit before we speak. And that's really God's way. Is
Yeah.
you don't need a little thing in your ear to say, danger, danger, danger. You have the Holy Spirit says, don't say
I
that.
don't know. Sometimes I do.
We have the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit will
And he
guide us
says
into all
danger,
truth
danger.
and guide
Yeah.
us in our speech,
Hmm.
guide us in just recalling the
Yeah.
fruit of the Spirit. Okay, so it's love and joy, peace, patience, kindness, and grab that. So that's really the lesson. Even if
Yeah.
you're out there with a GPS, you can still get lost, or you don't have GPS, or it's just living life.
Yeah.
Right?
Living life.
Is allowing the Holy Spirit to speak to us
Yeah.
like a map. Here's your roadmap, buddy. Follow this, and you will not follow the Spirit, and you will not gratify the lusts of the flesh or the carnal ways.
Very nice.
It's a map.
Yeah.
It's the Holy Spirit is
Yeah,
our
he's-
roadmap. He
yeah.
is our
He is
guide.
our-
He is our guide.
He is our GPS.
He's our GPS. Yeah,
system.
God positioning
Mm.
service.
Yeah.
System.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could make one of those. A God positioning system that I could sell, and then when you talk, the Holy Spirit could speak to you in your ear so you could really hear it. No, let's just
no, people
no,
wouldn't
that wouldn't work.
wouldn't listen.
So anyway, the bottom line is
Yeah.
we have the Holy Spirit to help guide us, and if we'll just let the Holy Spirit talk to us, we usually know what's right. We just don't want to do it,
Right.
or we don't take the time to think before we speak, and then we speak out of line, because that words, as you've taught
Right.
many, many times, are very powerful, and they are creative.
Yes.
They can create an atmosphere. They can create a mood, and we have the Holy Spirit through Jesus,
Mhm.
and I know He listened.
Yeah.
What do you think when He went out and prayed all night long?
Right.
Well, I believe it was a communication of He's not just talking; He's listening
Yes.
to get the Holy Spirit guidance. And then
Yeah.
the next day, what would He do? He'd show up, and there'd be a
Yeah.
lame man or whatever, or blind man. Well, He already knew He was going to do that, because the Holy Spirit was His map,
Yeah.
so to speak, His guide the night before while He was praying.
Yes. So good.
And so, if we would probably do a little more praying and not just asking for stuff or needing help all the time, but just zone in to the Holy Spirit and just let Him prepare you for your tomorrow. Let Him prepare you, even if your schedule, or prepare you when the kids are going to burst through the door. Let Him prepare you. Holy Spirit,
Yeah.
speak to me now. And my mom
Wow.
my mom was really good with the Holy Spirit. She'd know what I was doing before I was a Christian. She'd come and tell me, what were you doing out all night last night?
Mhm.
How did you know I was out all?
Yeah.
Well, Not the fact that I didn't come home, but I stayed at my own place, and I didn't go there either. I didn't show up at any. I won't tell you where I was, but she
I
knew.
don't really care.
No, well, that was before the 50 years started, so it doesn't count. That was
Yeah.
pre-50.
Pre-50.
But she would. The Holy Spirit would tell her things.
She would know. Yeah.
And she would know
Mhm.
things about me,
Mhm.
and I just like,
Yeah.
how do you know that?
Gotcha.
Yeah, but the Holy
That's so
Spirit,
good.
yeah, the Holy Spirit will
Yes.
guide us
Yes, he will guide us.
into all truth
All truth.
if we'll let Him.
Mhm.
So, okay, we're joking around, having a good time, and talking a little history of us with maps and GPS, but it's true. The Holy Spirit is here to help us. I am thankful for GPS.
Yeah.
I
I am
kind of like
too.
the maps because the maps were fun to
Yeah.
look at the pictures, and they would have pictures and stuff of the state, or they have the big atlas. Remember, of every state. I like
Yeah.
that one, and I still go to my maps on my phone sometimes to locate where
Mhm.
places are. I did that the
Sure.
other day. Those folks that showed up at our church from Poland, and I thought I knew them because we know a lot of people in Poland,
Right.
but we did. They just looked online and found us. So when they said where their town was, I didn't know where it was. So I pulled out my phone, went to
Yeah.
the map, and wanted to see
Found.
where they live in Poland.
Nice.
So it's still got maps, but uh, but God's way has always been the best way for years and years and centuries, right?
Yeah.
Listen to the Holy Spirit, and He will guide you in the way you should go. Can you say? The first song I ever wrote was about that.
Yeah.
Remember the
The
line?
steps of a man,
Are
right, are of the Lord.
actually it was probably King James way back then because I didn't have any other kind of Bible to look to. That's
yes,
the only
it
Bible we had.
was. Right.
And it says the steps of a man are ordered.
Are ordered.
Okay, now the modern days they took that word ordered out, and it's okay. But I liked it because I needed that.
Yeah.
The steps of my steps of my life are ordered. They're already set. God knows ahead of
Mhm.
time. Now I just need to follow orders, and some of us not very
Yes.
good at that, but we can get
Yeah.
good at it. And the Holy Spirit is speaking today. I'll throw in one little thing because we've said enough today, and we were late coming on, but we got some people that I see with Kayla and Beth and Darren. Some people are coming on. Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Even though we were late, but the Holy Spirit it will guide us and help us and get us to where we need to go if we'll just listen and let Him teach
Yes.
us and tell us things. Is it true?
Mhm.
He'll even tell you things to come. One of the
Yes.
prophets said, one of the
Mhm.
scriptures says that God doesn't do anything without telling His prophets first.
Mhm.
So we
Yeah.
really should know
Yes.
the direction we should go and
Yeah.
make it easy on ourselves,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Have you enjoyed talking today about
Yeah.
what you didn't know we were going to talk about, even though
Yeah,
we got
how was it?
got a late start? Thank you that those that came on late, those that didn't, hi, you're coming on late another time, but we had a blast talking today,
Yeah.
Facebook Live together, right, Kathy? And
Yes.
next month, the 8th,